What's up, guys? Borough podcast coming at you. We are here for our pretty momentous 50th episode, as well as our first episode in our new studio. So this is a pretty exciting episode. Let's get through these ads first. We are brought to you by Municipal Land Survey. You can get them at 631-345-2658. Available for all your land surveying needs in the great state of New York. We also have AS Engineering Services. You can get them at 631-560-0259 or on the interconnected webs at www.asengineeringservices.com. And then last, we are brought to you by Made to Thrive, an American t-shirt company. You can reach them at www.madetothrive.us and on Instagram at madetothrive.us. Like I said, guys, this is actually our 50th episode. Pretty crazy how time has flown. We were really excited to get this one in, and also it's our new studio, which is pretty crazy. We're stepping up into the big leagues. Moved from the living room to the studio. It's going to be pretty exciting. We have a lot of big things in the works. In this episode, we have Kyle Murray, who is one of the founding partners at Oasis Grooming Company. This is a really good episode. We had a lot of fun. We talked about the company, where they get the idea from, and also we talked a lot about the renaissance of male grooming and just a lot of things. How people are starting to take a lot more pride in what they're doing, how they're doing it. And then also Kyle had a lot of great tips and tricks on how to groom yourself properly, which I believe most people don't know. So give it a listen. We had a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoy it. Alright, guys, we're live. Let's get into it. Borough podcast. Yarbs,
Eric,
Skanga,
and our guest,
Kyle.
And big shout out to Steve in our tech department. He's here. We got no tech today, so he's just going to be holding up a tablet for us.
He's going to be doing the Vanna White. Look at this, guys.
Episode number 50.
Yeah, this is big.
Yeah, nice. And our first one in the new office.
Huge. It's so good.
Nice.
So we're in our new location. It smells very fresh, very new.
Yeah.
I might be a little bit high. That's how fresh and new it smells in here. We've got some good cleaning products. And our guest today has been a friend of mine for probably the better part of a decade now.
Yeah, about that, yeah.
About
absolutely.
a decade. We have Kyle T. Murray with us, as I like to refer to him.
Old name, I like it.
And he's the owner of Oasis Grooming and Supply.
Yes, sir. I am.
Now, they're a local company based off of Long Island, and you have a couple products that you brought out for us to see. You want to tell us a little bit about them?
I did, yes, absolutely. I'm actually partnered with a gentleman named Anthony Montanez, who's a great person to have by my side with all this. So maybe you guys will get to speak with him in the future. But this is not just me, so I wanted to give some credit to my buddy Anthony, who has been on this ride with me since we've started, and it's been quite a fun ride so far. But,
he's an expert on hair, right?
Yeah, he's a barbershop. He owns Monty's Barbershop in Moriches, which is right by the Moriches Bay Diner over there.
Monty.
So you know Monty. Okay, so yeah,
I used to live over there, but he used to work at Jedi Barbershop.
Yes, he did. That's where he started.
I was at Jedi Barbershop today.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those guys are cool guys over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as the products are concerned,
small world.
we decided, Anthony and I, that we wanted to make products that were better than what you're going to find in Barbasol cans and Gillette and whatnot. Using better ingredients than they are, but still being able to offer them at a price point that is friendly for everybody. For some people, it might be a little bit of a spring to not spend $3 to $5 on a spray can of shave cream, but we wanted something that people could take home and really love the experience of shaving and get back to that old school style of using the Badger hairbrush and really taking the time out to make sure that you're you're taking good care of your skin and your face while you're shaving. So that's kind of where it all started.
It makes sense, because I just want to chime in. I'm somebody that has really sensitive skin, and I'm always real hesitant to try shaving products. And I've used all the different like gels. I don't even know the names of them all because I haven't bought them in so many years. And like the spray, the regular shaving creams, and I get away with usually like one shave. I turn out all right, and then like day 2 or day 3, I start getting the real bad bumps that turn into little pimples and ingrown hairs.
Mm-hmm.
So when you brought me this product for the first time, I was like, oh man, yeah, I'm gonna give this a try. But I know in like 3 days, I'm gonna be looking at my neck and thinking, oh man, I really regret using that. But I had the entire opposite experience.
Awesome.
Like 3 days later, my facial hair doesn't grow very quickly, but so I shave usually every like 2 to 3 days. And 3 days later, I was like, oh, I almost can't wait to shave again because the product smells so good and my skin actually like felt good after using it. And I didn't really get any of the razor bumps that I normally get, even from not shaving. I usually have like something with my skin, but this stuff I ended up using the aftershave just for like a moisturizer because I like the way it smells so much.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we want to hear, and that's honestly really really great for us to know that somebody like yourself, because that's honestly myself. I have very sensitive skin as well, and part of the reason why I wanted to design products like this was so that I could use them, and that I don't have to spend money at the store and have things not work and try 50 different pomades or shave products that are just doing damage, causing flakes, and drying out my skin instead of actually helping it. So that's kind of where the idea came from, and it came to a head with Anthony. He had given me a call one day, and we're childhood friends. We grew up going to the same school, playing on the same sports fields and games together, and always growing up, he's been such a positive, good guy. But as he started, as you said, at Jedi Barbershop and getting going in that industry, him and I would always talk. He was my hair cutter for a long time. We would always talk about, oh, hey, maybe one day, your dad could do a product with my barbershop. And as we came of age, I had decided that that's what I wanted to do. And a phone call one day that got us talking just led to us going into business together on it and finding that our interests were the same and that we could work very well together. So that's kind of where we're at with it.
Now let me give a little bit of your background. You have a little bit of not in the, I guess, products end and the sales end of the industry, but in the manufacturing end.
Yes, I have. I'm an interesting case. I have a lot of experience. I wouldn't say I have a lot of traditional schooling behind me in these areas, but I have a whole ton of experience. I have grown up in a manufacturing facility. My father owns Oasis Cosmetic Laboratories in Holtzville. So these products are actually made by us. I go in and work with my father, and instead of us paying another company to produce them for us, I'm actually able to use his facility and work hand in hand with him to design these formulas from the ground up. We choose the ingredients, we choose the scent. Everything that goes into this, there's a lot of thought, and I do have to give credit to my father because he is the foundation behind all of this, and he is the reason why we're able to have a product like what we have here. But yeah, I grew up in a manufacturing facility. Originally, my father was a trucking company, so from the time I was 6 to maybe 10 years old, I spent a lot of time with him, sitting on his lap, shifting the gears, going into different places in the Hop Hog business park over there and around Konkoma, everywhere that you see a business park on Long Island. I've probably been in there doing some sort of shipping and receiving and getting to see the inner workings behind a lot of multi-million-dollar and billion-dollar facilities and businesses. I can remember walking into Corwood Labs back in the day, which was humongous. Four Paws Pet Products, who my father still manufactures for to this day. And companies like The Art of Shaving and eShave. Those are guys that my dad actually, as he progressed into the cosmetics industry, he was manufacturing for them. So that's where we got our foundation from. So for me, I really enjoy being inside of a factory and looking at how the machinery works, how the lines are run, how we set up our equipment. It's a very interesting process. It's it's a lot of fun. It's almost like in our industry, it's almost like cooking, but on a large scale. If you can picture, a lot of people will be able to picture Breaking Bad. You know, when you're sitting there with gloves and a hairnet and a lab coat on, you're standing over a kettle stirring some blue stuff. You know, I got this blue pomade right here.
Yeah, that looks like the same color blue as that stuff that they were selling on that show.
I was sending pictures to my friends, like living vicariously through Breaking Bad, and pretending I was some kind of a badass or whatever it is. But you know, we're making shave cream, so it's just fun. But yeah, it's an interesting industry. It's really large scale cooking. You know, you have different processes, water processes, oil processes, and it's really the order of those processes that can make or break your product. And it can be so fickle, and you need to fine tune everything to such a degree that it's really there's almost no room for error sometimes.
Yeah, I would imagine that the smallest amounts of certain things are going to completely change your product in one way or the other. You know, going a little too heavy on this or a little too light on this, and now all of a sudden you got like, you know, mayonnaise and shit like that. Like,
exactly. Yeah, we actually with our pomade, it took us surprisingly to develop on the bench, which would be in the laboratory itself. It took us like 2 weeks to go from the ground up and have a sample that we're like, wow, this is awesome.
Like how many like failures did you have on the way? Is it like dozens or a couple, and you just do a little bit of tweaking and you're able to like build a little bit at a time, or how does that work?
That particular product, we had maybe about 3 or 4 failures before we reached our end goal. But what happens is when you go from the small scale batch where you're using grams and micrograms, and you go all the way into, let's say, like 1,000-pound batch, your ratios are so specific that you almost have to rework it before you can really get it back to where it was in that sample batch, and there is some room for error there that you have to account for.
I guess you figure if you have like a 10% error or a 7% error when you're working on like that, what did you say, microgram level? Mm-hmm. And then you just put like a giant exponent on that when you're going up to pounds, thousands of pounds. Yeah. So you figure, yeah, that would definitely change the consistency. I could see that wrecking the whole batch.
Yeah, it's interesting. In certain ingredients, specifically, sometimes a fragrance will actually thin out a product, and maybe it's in at such a small, like 0.2%, something like that, and you just toss the fragrance in, and all of a sudden you go from a nice thick consistency to something that's like water, and you're like, what happened here? And you don't even know, and then you realize it, and you take some water out and thicken it up, or different things like that. But it's an interesting process. It's definitely like cooking, and colors and things like that will. It's hard to get them consistent, and it takes a lot of time and patience in order to make sure your batches come out the way you want them to when you're very specific about how you want the products to come out, so that people do get consistency and enjoy using them.
I've messed up on just like quadrupling a batch of cookies at my house. So like I can't imagine going from like this small little container, which looks like, I mean, it's like a shot basically, or even less than a shot. I couldn't imagine going from like less than a shot to 1,000-pound vat or tub or whatever it is you cook them in. I just picture you with a 50-gallon drum and like a gas mask on with like a 2x4 mixing it. Yeah. But I'm sure it's much more high tech and proper than that.
Yeah, we use a lot of steam kettles.
What is a steam kettle? We don't even know what that is.
Sounds cool.
Okay,
yeah.
So
I'm just picturing.
It sounds like steampunk.
I'm still in the Breaking Bad thing. Picturing season 4 underneath the laundromat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's.
Yeah. I mean, that's with the Chicken Man.
Yeah,
yeah. That's what you're looking at basically. You'll have a kettle that stands about 3 or 4 feet taller than I am standing up. You have to get a ladder to get on there. There's a platform so that you can work around the whole kettle. But if I wanted to dive in there, it's bigger than most people's hot tubs and a lot deeper. So, it's...
Probably wouldn't want to do that.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, if
your hair would look great.
Your hair would look great, but you'd be wrecked.
Yeah.
Best smelling corpse ever.
I'm not going to lie. I would dive in if the shave cream was in there. The honey almond shave cream.
Oh, it smells real good. The pomade smells awesome too.
Maybe we can wrestle in it later, Skanga.
Yeah, you guys can do some sparring.
I'm not against that.
We'll come out with good skin, nice shine.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that you have that background. That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's cool, because that's like, even if you went to school for this kind of shit, it would take years of actually doing it to learn that. You know more than anyone who's gone to school for any type of this shit. I believe that just, you know,
life experience.
Life experience, I think, is more important than anything, and actually being in your trade or whatever and being around it your whole life. Like, I'm so excited to put this pomade in my hair. I want to go wash out my hair. I'm just putting it in.
All right, we're gonna put some Steve videotape this. Yeah. Come on, Steve, get on this tech. Use your telephono.
Sorry, I can't wait.
Skanga, wait. We're gonna get this for the Instagram.
I know. I already got a little bit of product in, but I didn't go too crazy with it today.
Now, for everyone that listens to the podcast, they know Skanga. He's got the best hair out of all of us. So we're gonna.
And I just went to the barbershop today.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That feels good. See, it's like you said, because I've been using the Suavecito. We were talking before we got on air. And I used the Suavecito, and it was a little too thick. And I'm using the Old Spice stuff, and it's a little, like, not thick enough. This feels like it's right there, right in the middle.
You're looking like Brad Pitt from Snatch, I'm thinking.
Yeah? Is it the abs? Oh, yeah. I like it. How's it look?
I think I'm gonna grow my hair back. That's how it looks.
You're pretty fucking handsome.
Oh yeah, I like this. All right, nice. Watch out, ladies. Memorial Day weekend at the casino, I'll be looking pretty freaking good. I like it. Now my hand smells awesome.
And one of the great things about what we did with this is we made this a water soluble product. So you can just take some water, wash it.
I mean, my hands aren't even that sticky.
Yeah,
I mean, you know.
Shouldn't leave too much residue, but it washes off quickly with water. And one of the other benefits to that is that if you're a hairstyle, if you're doing something, if you're a guy that actually works with your hands and is out there doing construction or something like that, you have your hard hat on, your style comes out, and then you want to grab a beer after work, and you're sitting in the bar, and now you're like, oh man, my hair kind of looks like shit. I don't know what to do. Take a comb, put some water, it'll reactivate everything, and you can get your style right back. So that's kind of what we did with that.
Put it in my tool pouch, that's what you're telling me.
Yeah, man.
You hit the nail on the head right there with me. I'm a construction worker, wear a hard hat all day.
And then I
get on the train, I just throw on a hat. Now I'm going to be picking up chicks on the train ride home from the city.
Yeah, there you go.
You just stepped this game up to a whole new level.
This opens up a whole new world to me.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I'm going to have to buy extra tall boys and be like, hey, a beer with me?
Would you like to have a beer?
And then you run my fingers through my hair.
You see how good my hair looks?
Yeah.
What train do you take home? I'm going to get on that train.
Yeah.
These things can be rough.
Just make sure your wife's not on the train.
Not mine, ladies. Awesome. I like it. I love new hair products.
Thank you, man. I'm really glad that you guys are enjoying them. It's kind of the whole point. It makes us happy when other people are happy.
I like all their shave cream, too. Recently, probably in the last year, I moved back to that old school razor that has, like, the one blade.
The straight razor?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
no,
like the old one that, like,
the
safety razor
safety
or whatever.
Oh, okay.
It's just a single blade, though, but it's easier to, like, get a nice edge or whatever. Because I have the beard. I haven't shaven my whole face in, I don't know, 3-4 years now. So I'm always just shaping up my beard. And I have, like, I got it for Christmas a couple years ago. And I've barely used any of it, but it's like a little thing of shaving cream and the nice brush and all that. And
yep.
I appreciate this stuff. I'm gonna try out this honey almond because I want to smell good for the ladies.
Well, that's exactly what it's designed for. It is designed for like that badger hair brush. You
nice
always
shave,
want to create the lather.
Yep.
And you can, if you don't have a brush, you can just add a little bit of water to your hands and rub it on here. It'll still create the lather. But ultimately, this is designed for the guy like yourself who's going to take that old school approach to their shaving and really take the time to do that with it.
Yeah,
for sure.
I do it maybe once or twice a week. I'll just edge it up,
It's amazing. Like, I guess we're kind of going through a little bit of a renaissance right now, with where people are starting to take pride in doing things like that. Whether it be shaving or just taking care of yourself. Like, we almost got into such like a cookie cutter society where, and speed over anything else. Like, there's no quality anymore. Like, people just don't care. We're all pretty big fans of Joe Rogan, and he had Guy Ritchie on recently, and he was talking about wearing a suit. And he was saying, like, how it became, like, this corporate thing, and you should want to wear a suit. Like, it used to be you wore a suit because you looked great in it, like, and you felt good in it. And all of a sudden, then it became, like, you had to wear that suit for work, and it just, like, stole the soul out of it. And I feel like a lot of things are like that. Even, taking pride in shaving. People just don't, like, it's almost like you're just doing it for a reason as opposed to wanting to make yourself better, wanting to look good, and taking pride in what you're doing.
Yeah, in a sense, it's almost like a ball and chain that society will put on you in order to, influence you to think that you have to have that suit on at work, and you have to have that certain
clean cut shave,
shave, and just get it done before work every day. And it's society that puts a lot of that pressure on us to change who we are so that we fit the mold.
Right. That's exactly what it is, a mold.
And you could tell the people that are just going through the motions. It's lunchtime and you're like at the pizza place and you see that schlubby insurance salesman type guy come in.
His tie is like
undone.
Partly undone. He doesn't have the button on. Like, he's wearing a brown belt with black shoes. And like
he's got the cuffs on the bottom of the pants. He's rocking that early 2000s style with the square-toed shoe.
He's still got pleats in his suit pants.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, I love wearing a suit because
me too.
I like I already said, I'm a construction worker. I get dirty every day. I wear the same shitty clothes and it's got all whatever on it from construction. When I get out of work, I like to take a shower. I like to take my time.
You want to look
take
good.
A nice poop, shower, do my hair. Even if I'm just sitting on the couch, I like to just, it's nice to be in that stuff. And I got a wedding Saturday. I tried on like 3 different suits today. I was just trying on clothes. So I love that stuff. This stuff's right up my alley. I'm like a kid in a candy store right now. I'm so excited.
Probably a good time too with all the beards being very popular now. Everybody's getting more and more serious into shaving and the products they're putting in. Just because I talk about it started shaving when I was like 16. I remember everything bothered my skin, but just between when I was 16 and now I'm 34 years old, you see how big shaving actually has become. Like, everybody remembers in the 90s, it was, we're all going to use these electronic buzzers, these face things. We all went out, spent like a couple $100 on these things, and then never bought another one ever again because they don't really work that great.
I remember I bought the one that had, like, you push a button and the lotion comes out.
Yep.
Who made Norelco made those things. Norelco.
The tri-head with the...
Yeah, I had the tri-head one, and they all worked terribly. They worked terribly.
Never gave you a clean shave at all.
No.
Never.
That's pull your hair out when it's low on
the blades would get dull.
So going back to what he was saying about using the razor, the single blade razors, I myself, I use a 2-blade razor. And I've always used a 2-blade razor just because anytime I try like a Mach 7 with 14 different blades on it and 3 glide strips, the hair just gets stuck in there and you can't really shave.
Oh, it's terrible.
Having less of an edge sometimes is actually more.
Where do you can get like 2-blade? I don't know anything about shaving, just because I don't know. I'm real bad at it. I'd use some disposables.
Maybe that's why you get the bumps.
I guess so. I use a Mach 3 now, but I don't know, because they're a Mach 2?
Yes.
Yes.
Really?
I believe so.
There is.
Really? I know there's a Mach 5, so that's just how many...
There's a turbo as well. That has 2 strips.
Whoa. Turbo.
I am a hairy dude. I'll tell you all about the razors. Then they have the turbo, which is 2 glide strips, which is a Mach 3 with an additional glide strip. I've tried all of them.
So you'd say try a 2-blade razor if you're more prone to bumps, maybe? Is that what you'd recommend?
I wouldn't necessarily say that the razor itself is going to help with the bumps. I would say that the way you apply your products is going to help with those bumps.
Yeah, work on your technique, bro.
And at the same time, the way that you shave determines if you're going to get those bumps and ingrown hairs in the first place. You always want to shave with the grain.
Gotcha.
You know, when you start going against the grain, that's when things start pulling and follicles get infected and things start looking bad. And, you know, there's a million articles online that will tell you to do one way or the other. Some of them will tell you that you have to shave against the grain. Some will shave with the grain. But ultimately, what we find, especially in, you know, having some insight from Anthony over at the barbershop, you know, if you're going with the grain, you're better off every time. And it comes down to having a good razor that's going to be able to take that hair right off, and how you apply your products as well. You know, something that we do with the shave line, we actually package it so that you can purchase all 3 of the shave products at once for a little bit of a cheaper price to give you some incentive. You know, if you're going to use the whole regimen, we want you to be able to, you know, have a little bit of a break, and they're really meant to work in conjunction with each other. This pre-shave oil that we have, you know, this involves a lot of essential oils. We have some cottonseed oil in here, sweet almond, safflower oil, and some grapeseed oil. And really, that's pretty much it. There's a little bit of some fragrance that we have in here, but this oil is all natural, and it's designed to really make your skin more pliable. So a lot of people mistake a pre-shave oil as something that is there to lubricate your razor, and to some degree that's true, but the actual purpose of a pre-shave oil is to take your skin from having, I guess, if I could describe this, I would say like divots in your skin, or where it dips in, abscesses, things like that. I'm not saying that this is going to cure your abscess. You should probably go to the dermatologist. But it will take your skin and make it pliable so that it puffs up and gives a smooth surface for the razor to glide across. And that's the real purpose. It absorbs in, you know, maybe like a couple seconds, 20, 30 seconds. It'll absorb into your skin, and it'll make it a lot more pliable. So that way, when you do create the lather and add the shave cream, you're going to get a much smoother shave closer to the actual base of the hairs themselves, right at the follicle. And then, again, you know, when you're using a shave cream, you're just going to wash it right off your face. So if you don't apply an aftershave, chances are that you're not going to be able to have your skin soothed properly. You're still going to have pores that are open, and you want those to close. You know, when you're done shaving, you want to kind of take a towel and use some colder water, tap it on your face, and then apply some of the aftershave lotion, and that will provide you with some moisturizing effects that'll rehydrate your skin, and it'll make it so that you know, you're not feeling any redness or irritations, and really make your skin feel like it's you know, young and new and good again.
Now I see on here, sorry, that on the aftershave, and I noticed on the pre-shave says you put it on with a little bit of warm water, and then the aftershave says you put it on with cold water. Mm-hmm. Now, I've just sort of realized recently, probably within the last few months, that they say that the warm water opens up your pores, and then the cold water like shrinks them down. And I only learned that because I started taking cold showers after I would work out for recovery, but my skin would feel different afterwards, and I'm assuming that's the pores closing up.
Yes, yeah. Your skin will feel a little bit tighter.
Yeah, that's exactly the feeling that I had. And that, I guess that's really important. It's important enough that it's in the directions on the labels. Do you want to explain that or tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that goes back to what the point I'm making about you know, being able to use these products in the right way. So, you know, if you just buy a shave cream and an aftershave lotion, yeah, it'll get the job done. You'll get a nice shave out of it, and you'll still soothe your skin afterwards. But you could probably get a better shave if you apply the pre-shave oil and made that skin pop up and be nice and pliable to give that smooth surface, and you won't get as many pulls and tears as you're using your razor.
It's those pulls and tears that cause the ingrown hairs, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Or those little ones that turn into like the white bubble that you then have to squeeze out, and then you get that red spot there, and it looks like you have adult acne when you're in your 30s.
Yep, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, those are the pits.
Yeah, it's never good. You know, when you're over 30, you're not supposed to have acne, quote unquote. So you know, it's embarrassing.
I think I just turned 30. I didn't know this.
Yeah,
I'm learning a lot about my 30s recently.
Yeah, me too. When did you turn 30?
October.
Okay, I just turned 2 months ago. Last month, April.
Young
April. Yeah.
Yeah, you old guys, stay on that side of the table.
I'm curious.
These young guys with good hair will stay over here.
You guys do have better hair.
Or have you guys ever thought about, like, that was a lot of information that you just gave, a lot of knowledgeable information. I don't think a lot of people would know. You guys ever think about doing, like, videos on social media or, like, on the website and stuff like that? Like, you know, tips and tricks. Like, I feel like that almost gives you a connection to your clientele. And, like, I think a lot of people really, you know, eat that kind of stuff up. They get very intrigued by it.
I've Googled how to shave before and actually watched YouTube tutorials to learn different techniques to try to get, I don't want to say like better at shaving, but basically try to get less razor bumps, like you had mentioned earlier, shaving with the grain. So I think people are definitely, there's like a need for it because some of the videos are like 1 million views.
Yeah, and it's a lost art. Like, you know, we were saying before, you know, shaving became, I have to have a clean shave for work. Like, just do this real quick.
Yeah.
Go.
I gotta go shave. And now it's, I want to have that good beard like the guys in Brooklyn and Mike Skenga.
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
Like a young Mike Skenga.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
I think Monty would be real good for our videos.
We're a pretty young company. We started out last October, and we launched technically in April of 2016. So what happened is, you know, as some of you people who are business owners and into business yourself know, not everything just takes off like an airplane and flies in a good way. It's you know, it's a learning process, and you make your mistakes and you learn from them and you move on. And you know, we had originally started out with not a pre-shave oil, but with a beard oil, and that beard oil gave us a lot of problems in production, and it came up you know, several times with Anthony and I that we just weren't happy giving people a product that we didn't think was up to our standard. So we took a step back for about half of the year, and we did a bunch of changes. And one of the things that we did was replace that with this pre-shave oil, which now gives us a full shave regimen instead of just, you know, 2 products and then one kind of out there as an outlier. But as we move forward, we just relaunched this April. So it took us about a year to rethink what we were doing. We did a full redesign of our labels. We actually used to have white labels with green and blue and silver.
Like these.
I was going to say, I like
classy.
these.
Thank you
They're
guys.
classic
Yeah,
looking, but still modern enough. Like, looks real good.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate that. These, you know, there's a lot of time and energy that goes into creating a label in the first place, and we're very happy with the outcome. And
I feel like if you have these products in your medicine cabinet and you have a chick at your house and she goes to use the bathroom, you're not worried about her looking in the medicine cabinet. She's going to look in and be like, look at this
It's
guy.
going to make you look better.
This is like a sharp
He
looking...
cares.
This is a sharp looking label, and I like that.
You're not using the Gillette spray foam.
Yeah. She's not going to see a barber.
You're not using the Lady Bic.
Yeah.
thank you guys. Yeah, let the ladies know you care and you're looking in the medicine cabinet for sure.
You put in the work, I put in the work.
But yeah, we as we've grown with this, you know, we're at a stage now where back last month we just did our relaunch in Connecticut, actually at the CT Barber Expo, which is hosted by Jay Majors. It's a great expo. You know, we've met quite a number of other companies out there that got their start there as well. You know, 3 years later, they're turning tens of millions of dollars in profit. And, you know, it's
Nice.
for us, being there was great. You know, we had an awesome time this year, and we did generate a whole bunch of sales. You know, we have people that are buying our product in Michigan and Pennsylvania, and, you know, it's only been a month since we've relaunched. And that to me is really, really exciting. We have another couple local shops that are taking our products as well now, and as we move forward, one of the big things that we do want to do is we're going to be starting a blog on our website, which is www.oasisgroomingcompany.com, and we are going to do a video series on there. You know, Anthony is very active in the barber shop, and every day he's doing haircuts and working on people and using these products on his customers. So for us, yeah, you know, like you're saying, people want to be engaged.
Yeah.
They want to know that there's somebody else at your company, not just a label and a barcode.
Exactly.
You know, they want to see
face.
personality. They want to know who we are and why we're doing this, and you know what our products are really all about, and why we're presenting them the way we are. And absolutely, yeah, that's something that in the very near future you guys are going to start to see come on our website, and we're going to be doing a YouTube channel, just like you said. You know, it's important for people. Is you know, like you said, I can provide knowledge to a lot of people about how they should be using these products, but if they're in the store shopping, I'm not there to educate them.
Right, exactly.
So I don't have a way to connect with them and show them that, hey, you know,
you can't put all that information on the label.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, it's a lot to fit that on a label for sure.
We're all putting the product on our faces right now.
Oh, put on the face lotion. Yeah.
Steve just let out an "oh yeah," but he like tried to cover it up real quickly. But he trailed the voice off at the end because he was a little bit embarrassed.
The problem is, I realized listening to you guys that I'm a complete freaking slob. I'm the idiot that buys the Mach 1000.
Haven't we told you you're a slob already?
Because it's got the 1000 after it. It's got to be better. It's got to be better.
No, you know what it is? It's and you know, you're right. It's how fast can I get this freaking done?
Because you don't care.
Because I got shit to do. I got, you know what
it's
I mean?
not just the shit to do. It's
no, I mean
it's,
like
yeah,
in the morning, like you know what I mean.
You're married. I'm still picking up chicks, bro. So this matters to me.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm not impressing anyone. Look at me.
This matters to him, Steve.
Yeah, this affects my life. All right.
I'll tell you what, though, you're right. And
You might get laid a little bit more if you put a little effort into that goatee and you put some of this great smelling product on.
This chin hasn't
Steve,
changed.
you might have to take all of this.
You know, I probably do. He said it comes in 1,000-pound drums.
Yes, sir. You can buy a drum right now. Happy to do it.
We're just going to dip Steve in once a week and he'll be good.
Yeah, just dip him right in.
We'll get like a winch and lift him up, scoop him in, take him out.
Start walking again. Smells great.
You'll see. You'll be getting laid all the time. You'll be getting all promotions at work. Like everything is going to change, Steve.
You're going to be number one on Reddit for a full week.
I'll tell you what, though. Eric's been talking about the smell of that's
It
why I
smells
put
so
it on.
good.
I was like, because I'm smelling it and I can't really. I mean, I couldn't really smell it. And I put it on. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah,
This
it
smells
smells so
It
good.
actually releases a little bit when it does absorb into your skin a little bit more. Obviously, it's because it's close to your nose as well. But yeah, some of these products, even the pomade as well. You know, when you smell the jar versus when you put it in your hair, the water kind of activates it a little bit and gets that smell out there.
I'm gonna describe the smell of this.
Okay.
I can't really tell. It smells like obviously like honey and almonds and stuff like that, but it smells very great. But it gives you just enough that you want more, but not enough so that you're overwhelmed.
It's not. If somebody walks by, they're not going to be like, or might not even notice really.
And then when
initially.
if they do notice, and you're
It'll
like,
be gradual.
oh, what is that
Make
smell?
out
Yeah.
What's going on here?
That's actually
This is like perfect. Actually, it's like the smell is
Yeah,
perfect.
this is standing in an elevator and not over. You know what I mean? Like
It's not Axe body spray where you're like,
Yeah,
Jesus
yeah. You're not
Christ, you
leaving
take a
it-
fucking shower.
Yeah.
Exactly, you're not leaving a trail.
I'm very happy to hear that because that's honestly the intention with it. You know, is that this isn't your cologne. And
No.
it's not intended to be your cologne. And there's a lot of products out there that, you know, you're going to smell like a field of strawberries in 3 seconds when you put something on. And there's really no reason to do that. It's competing with whatever else you want to put on to smell good. So usually what we have when people give us reviews is comments that go in the direction of that, you know, my wife noticed it, but we don't hear about it bothering anybody. So that's what we're going for. We want the wife to say, oh, something's different about you. Something smells nice. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I like
Here.
it.
It goes right here. If that's where the finger goes.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll go twice this week.
exactly.
I'll report back.
Steve, yeah, let us know how this works out for you, Steve. We're gonna we want to
I'm not
know
gonna
for
say
next
a word.
week.
I'm just gonna let it. I'm gonna let it do the talking.
I'm glad you brought up that you did a beard oil because I was going to ask you if you're doing beard products like a beard balm. I'm a big beard balm guy. I did the oil a little bit. I like the beard balm better, but you just it didn't work out. I guess like you were saying.
You know what? We tried to go all organic on that product, and
Okay.
If I'm 100% honest, the issue is that we didn't have enough preservative because we didn't want to add chemicals in. So we used just tocopherol, which is vitamin E, and we just used that and bumped it up as our preservative in there, and that was our mistake. Because without that preservative, light very quickly passes through the bottle, and it starts to turn the oils very quickly. So that was the issue that we had.
You couldn't do like a solid bottle, like a black bottle?
We could, but we had already invested in this design and packaging, and to backtrack that would have actually been a much bigger loss for us than to revisit it later and redesign our package and go with the pre-shave oil, which we know is a wonderful formula that works very well.
Plus, when you're buying something, I don't know if like anybody else does this, but if I'm getting like hair wax or I'm getting something in the store and I can't really see what it looks like, I open it because I want to like test. I want to see what the consistency is. Oh, yeah. And if you can't really get like a feeling for it, then I mean, like this pomade is pretty stiff, but some of them you open up and you're like, whoa, this is like, this is like a bowl full of jelly.
Oh yeah,
like
I'll be in CVS just opening stuff.
Me too.
My hair, wiping my face.
I like being able to see through the bottles and being able to like understand like what I'm buying, because like you said earlier, somebody said earlier, like if you can't find, you have to get a new product for whatever reason. Then it's like you go through that like, oh, do I buy like a whole bunch of them? Try to buy small ones to see which one you like as you're like testing them out, or like there's really no way to do it. I'm in this like weird shampoo conditioner limbo right now, and I don't know what to do. I've been trying stuff like buying a new bottle for like the last 2 or 3 years, and I can't seem to find anything that I like. But
you used a lot of shampoo and conditioner.
Not anymore because I buzzed my head a little bit. This is the first day you've seen me with a buzzed head, so
I was there when you buzzed it.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. I mean, I was blackout drunk, but I was there.
You get the fuck out of here.
So one of the other things that we considered with this, and the reason why we don't have this in a glass bottle, like you're saying, most people like to put a beard oil specifically in an amber bottle, and that blocks out UV light.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's the one I had. Is in that,
and that's the reason why most people go with the amber bottle. One of the big reasons that we didn't, especially on this product, is because this is meant to be used in your bathroom. So if you're in the shower, you like to shave in the shower.
Yeah, that's where I shave.
Your bottle, and you're stepping on glass. It's not fun.
Yeah.
So, this thing can fall a million times, and you'll still be able to pick it up and use the product just like you did 5 minutes ago. And you don't lose the oils, and you don't risk getting cuts in the bathroom by having your jar drop. And it's not really a product, since it's not marketed as an actual beard oil. This product isn't something that you're usually going to bring with you in the car and leave it somewhere where it can be affected by that. It's going to stay in your bathroom on the shelf or in the medicine cabinet, like we were saying before.
I'm a big shower shaver. I like to shave in the shower. Nobody else?
No, I do.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I do as well.
I don't. He put the mirror in the shower too high. He's 6'8". Can't see my face, so I do when I get out.
Don't put your tippy toes.
I'll have to get up on the little ledge.
You gotta get
up on the ledge.
You gotta get a father-son mirror, like one high and one low. We'll write Yarbs.
Young to be shaving, right?
Yarbs on the top, Skenga on the bottom. Is there any benefit to shaving in the shower? Does the heat open your pores more or anything like that? Or
essentially, yeah, the warm water. If you're using warm water, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I'm using these products, I'm going to use the pre-shave oil before I hop in the shower. Apply it, let it soak in a little bit. Hop in the shower, do my shaving, and then I'm going to come out and I'm going to use a little bit of the cold water to close the pores with this. So I wouldn't use the whole regimen in the shower per se. But I would definitely bring my shave cream in there and this as well and do it that way for sure.
Yeah, that's what I have them all lined up on. Like I have a little shelf, and they're all lined up on my shelf right now next to my little mirror. But I'm thinking about investing. I know that they make better mirrors, like fog-proof mirrors and things like that. I'm thinking about investing in one of those.
I don't know about that. That's awesome.
I think I saw one on Sharper Image.
This is going to be my regiment because going with the mustache for Memorial Day. So
it'll be what can we call it? The Oasis mustache?
I don't know what we're going with though.
I wish I learned about this. I would have had
it was in the group text like 2 months ago.
Yeah, I'm not in that group. No,
Oh,
2 months ago.
No, it wasn't 2 months ago. It was like
Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks ago. Let's see. I'm pulling up. We'll have a little vote because I'm not sure what kind
Like I
of
said, I
mustache
haven't shaved my
style.
face in years.
Just go straight like 70s.
Last time I shaved
style.
my face was to go mustaches for D-Rock's birthday, probably 3 years
Mustachio
ago.
Bashio. That was
Yeah.
like 7 years ago.
No, that wasn't
That
like
was
7 years
easily
ago.
The
7
Mustachio
years ago.
Bashio.
We've
Dave
done
was-
that a couple times.
Dave
at
was
the
working
beach.
with me.
Was it
when
that
I went
long
down
ago?
Yeah,
there.
dude.
That
Yeah.
was a long
It
time
was a
ago.
long time ago.
So yeah, I haven't shaved my face in way long.
I think that we should pick out like maybe like 4 mustache styles, and we'll put them on Instagram, and we'll let like the Instagram followers choose which one they get. I like you
We'll
should
have
definitely.
to set up
These are,
Snapchat filters so that we can take pictures with just the mustaches.
I like the Bill the Butcher look. That would be like my first
Pretty
choice.
intense.
Bill the Butcher. That would be what I would go with.
I went with the whole
Yeah,
old school Hulk
yeah.
Hogan
Hulk Hogan mustache.
Manchu,
Real serious as
handlebar.
well.
That's
Last time I did it. That was when. Oh yeah, that was when I still rocked the goatee. So yeah, that was a long time ago.
I've been thinking about growing a mustache for a while, so I think I'm going to let this grow in a little bit, and I don't know what I'm going to do, but it's definitely going to be like 80s style. Not like
Like
60s
the
or
Magnum?
70s. Yeah.
The short Magnum.
I think it's going to be the short Magnum. Either the short Magnum, or if I can grow a super wide one, but I don't think I can grow that.
The wide
You
one
should
was-
go Charlie Chaplin.
Charlie Chaplin.
That's
Just
frowned
a little
upon
like,
these days.
a little tough.
Somebody ruined that in the 40s.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
this other German.
About 45. Yeah.
There's some German guy ruined that style.
You're German.
I heard somebody the other day refer to a mustache as a womb broom. And I thought that was absolutely hysterical. I thought it was
Gross.
That is absolutely hysterical.
I like grossed me out a minute. It like grossed me out a little bit for a second.
honestly. I had to laugh.
Oh, that's so good.
Alright, I'm growing a mustache.
Yeah, Steve, you got a real interesting look there. It's like no mustache, no sideburns, but you got a pretty big goatee, but not like a traditional goatee.
No.
It's sort of like this is like the size of your whole heel.
Yes.
Like it's like a pretty big bush,
It is
like a black Nike sock heel.
It is. It's seriously, the way
It's a
I
couple
did this
grays,
was
too.
it was me just following my lips and going down, like you said, just to hurry up and get to work. And I've just done it for 25 years almost.
That's too
My
long.
chin has not seen daylight in like 2 decades.
It's a pretty serious looking one right there.
But now it's
David
a trademark.
Beckham, so.
At this point, I can't shave it if I. I'll be.
I think you should shave it. Do you have like a weak
Switch it up.
jawline?
I haven't seen my jaw in 20 years.
Two and a half decades.
It would probably.
Yeah, I haven't
I'd
changed
probably-
up the facial hair in a while either.
I'd probably cut
I
off.
change
my
up the
entire
hair like every
chin.
2 months.
Yeah. No, this is. I used to have long hair, and then so I did nothing.
Throw it out again.
And then I did nothing again. I just you know what I mean? So this thing is.
I-
it's-
I think we should all do mustaches for the next podcast.
I'll have one tomorrow. Well, yeah, probably tomorrow.
Mine won't grow that fast. It takes me at least like a week to get something going, maybe a week and a
This is
half.
only a week.
Yeah, but that's
really
like
rather
that's as
not
long.
shave
That's
my-
like 3
I'd
times as
rather
long
not
as my
shave my beard
longest.
because I don't grow that fast, but it'll take me a month to grow this.
Listen,
back.
all you need is a little separation to make it a real like separate mustache.
Yeah, I'll just put a slit.
Just put like a slit, like an eyebrow, like they do in the eyebrows. Just like a little slit, a diagonal.
Yeah.
Maybe two.
Okay,
Maybe
if that
two,
counts, I'll
maybe
do it.
2 on the left side.
Yeah.
2. Oh, we can't like that's good.
So moving forward, I know that you guys have your product for sale at Monty's Barbershop. That's in Santa Mauritius.
It's actually Mauritius, but I consider it Center Mauritius. It's right on the border.
Most people don't know the difference even. I don't know. I ride down Montauk Highway, and when things start getting nice on the other side of Shirley, I'm like, oh, we're somewhere in Mauritius. Right?
Yeah, he's
pretty much.
Not Shirley.
Mastic, on the other side of Mastic.
yeah, pretty much on the eastern end there. So he's actually right. A lot of people will know the Mauritius Bay Diner over there. There's a building next to it which is Firestone, and then right to the right of that is his building. And he's actually just expanded the shop. He had it. He had 2 shops about a year ago. One was Monty's Barbershop, and the other was Monty's Barbershop and Salon. And the shop in Mastic, it just didn't make sense for him to keep that going when he could pull all the barbers into one shop. So he did away with having the salon side of things and recently just underwent construction, and you guys obviously have to stop in to see it. But it's a really great improvement to the shop, and it's really brought the camaraderie back, and the guys are really loving being over there and having it be a bustling kind of community hub where people are coming in and talking and playing basketball in the back.
That makes a big
awesome.
difference in a barbershop. Like going in and having a good time.
Oh yeah.
Like I went in half hour early for my appointment today because the guy Sean, who owns Jedi Barbershop, where Monty used to work, is someone I grew up with. Mm-hmm. And I play in the fantasy football league with him. I play poker with him every now and then. And, and so it like just having that camaraderie, I'd rather spend more time there, just because of that. So with his barbershop, I'm sure it's the same thing. Having that camaraderie is awesome.
Yeah, that it's a great excuse for a lot of the married guys that want some guy time to get out and be able to kind of shoot the breeze and not worry about.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
It's being said, but it's fun being over there. We just did he just had a grand opening last weekend. And we had poker tables and drinks
awesome.
and radio station there, and you try to have fun all the time over there. It's work and it's hard work for those guys, but they try to have as much fun as they can and keep people entertained while they're there. So it's a good place. He's even got the Xbox up, so there are people playing NHL and going back and forth.
Time, yeah.
It's good.
I think that we're all really excited to bring some of those stuff home. I've used all the products already. Actually, I haven't used the pomade yet, but
you're gonna have to grow your hair back.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to grow my hair back to give this a whirl. But
I don't know. I feel like I can't see my hair right now, but I feel like it looks really good.
It looks good. You got a nice wave to it.
I'm enjoying running my fingers through it. My hands aren't getting sticky from running my fingers through it, which is big. Because
that way the ladies
if I'm at the bar, I'll throw my hands, what's up, ladies? But I don't want sticky hands, for when I shake their hand like a gentleman. Hey, I'm Mike. Let's get out of here.
Those hands have been. Let's get out of here.
It's a great approach.
We're going to know if this stuff works based on the report on Tuesday afternoon. If you'd be like, Skanga, did you have a good weekend at the beach or did you have a bad weekend at the beach?
So, I think it's going to depend on the weather.
I think it's going to rely 100% on the hair.
It's all about the hair.
Hair. Well, I mean, if there's 20 people in the bar and they're all over 40.
Oh, you're saying are you preempting turning Pete? You're like, I'm going to turn these older ladies away?
Yeah, no,
it depends how much you drink.
I keep one around that's over 40, just because I've been doing it since she was like 35, and that's it. Besides that, I'd like to go my age or younger. So, that's how I live my life right now. So,
1 40-year-old at a time.
She's 45 now, so.
Whoa, so you've been doing this thing for a decade now, huh?
He's working his way up.
Maybe.
Eventually he'll be at 40 and that'll be acceptable. But for now, he's got to work his way up. He's
when I'm 40, she'll be 55, yeah. So.
Whoa, she'll be like ready to retire almost.
She'll be on like that AARP.
Yeah. See what kind of pension she has. We'll see how that goes.
She'll pay at the movie theater so you get those discount tickets.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, she is, we have the same birthday. She's 15 years to the day older than me.
Whoa. Yeah. It sounds like it was meant to be.
Yeah, that's just, that's a slump buster at this point. That's what that's turned into.
I've never heard that phrase. I've never heard that phrase before. I've never heard that phrase before.
Slump buster.
A slump buster.
Yeah. Just get back in the game.
Man, I'm gonna try to.
Game called.
Yeah, the game called. I'm back in it.
Does it like creep up on you? Like, oh man, something's missing. I'm like, oh yeah, slump buster. That's what we gotta do. Get me out of this funk.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you might have to drop me off on the way home. So.
Oh, so
now that my hair looks so good with this pomade, I do really like this.
It looks good.
It's like because the Suavecito, I feel like I couldn't touch my hair when I put it in. It was very heavy, and the Old Spice one I've been using, which I've been using for like the last couple months, just because I haven't found anything better. Like after touching my hair for a little bit, I feel like it's out. Like I wear it out. So this feels good. I've been playing with my hair for a little while now. I like this.
I have that problem too with like the products that I've used in my hair. It's like, all right, I put my shirt on first, and then I do the hair. Because if you put that shirt on after, you feel like a little bit disappears each time. It's like 20% disappears every time you like touch it, or put the hood on, or a little bit of water gets in it, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh man, now I'm just gonna look ratty for the rest of the day. You just gotta roll with it. But you said that this feels much different.
It does, yeah. And like I feel like it. I mean, you guys see me. I've been playing with it for the last 10 minutes.
Kyle, you said that stems from being like water-based as opposed to like oil-based, or?
Not necessarily. The hold is more determined by the percentages of the ingredients.
Okay.
So there's some silicones in there and whatnot that will provide the hold for you, and it's really about. There's also something called PVP in there, and that will thicken it up as well. But it's really about what percentage you're putting those ingredients at that determines how hard your hold is. Mm-hmm. And we took a look at a lot of different pomades while we were developing this one to kind of figure out where we wanted it to fall, and we call this our medium hold and medium shine. But I like to think of it as a little bit of a stronger shine myself, especially when, like going back to what you said as far as water-based, if you put this in your hair dry, it won't give you as strong a hold as if you put it in wet. But when you put it
if you put it in wet, it's going to hold firmer.
Yes, it'll actually harden up a little bit more, and it will also at the same time give it a little bit more shine, so you'll be able to tell if there's product in your hair. So some people really like that, and they want to use the water with it. Some people want a more matte look. Mm-hmm. The industry is trending towards the matte look.
I like the matte look. I like the matte look.
But a lot of them sell different pomades for different looks. So you could do either look with this single pomade.
I could take that formula and, obviously we go back with my father to the bench and we sit down and we just adjust the percentages, not changing a single ingredient, but we can adjust the percentages and give you a stronger hold. Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
So down the road, that's something that we intend to do. We'd like to provide a matte
different
look.
Options and
and it's being that it's water based, there's still oils in it. This is actually there's a lot of beeswax. There's white beeswax. That's in there as well.
Is that gives it a that like firms it up a little bit, or
that gives you some hold and it firms it up.
Do you remember that stuff that was out like 10 years ago, probably a little bit longer? I think it was called Ice.
Yes.
The stuff that all like the kids with the blowouts put in their hair.
Yes.
Like what was that on a scale of as far as like the hold goes?
Concrete.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's like a 10 on the firm scale, right?
That's super glue.
Yeah, pretty much super glue. I agree with that.
It was like got to be glued.
It's unnecessary.
I used to use got to be glued, and
it's unnecessary.
Like, you could basically break your hair off.
You'd have to do your hair and then take a shower because it'd be everywhere. It's so everything's sticky and shitty.
My son has a mohawk, and when his hair gets long and it's got to go up, that's the only reason I can see utilizing that stuff. Mm-hmm. It's the equivalent of like putting Jello in your hair.
Yeah, it's that stuff really does make your hair kind of almost freeze like a statue, and it's if you're using it like you said for a mohawk, that's perfect for something like that you really need it for to get your style. But
I would imagine that's got to be real good for your hair too, real healthy for your hair.
That's exactly where I was going with that. Is that it can be pretty bad for your hair. One of the things that most people do first when they're putting a product in is they rub it between their hands and fingers, and then they start right here in the front of their hair, and none of that product makes it to the back of their head. And they also go very deep in to the roots of the hair. And when you go into the roots of the hair, you start to have the product absorb into your hair follicles. So if you're using a product that, maybe a cheaper product that uses, more chemicals in it or whatever it is that's in the product may soak into your hair follicles and actually damage your hair and your skin both at the same time. So one of the things that most people don't realize is that you should actually work from the back forward to have everything come through to the front of your hair and go with your hairline. and keep it more on the tips of the hair than down at the roots. And you'll still be able to, because the tips control where the hair is actually going, you'll be able to style it however way you want still, and not have it all the way down here and all throughout your whole head. It won't have as much of a look that you just stuffed yourself with product, which obviously the ladies might have liked back in 2000 with the affliction shirt on, but not right now.
Skank is taking
Best
notes,
podcast
by the way.
ever.
He's taking notes.
I'm learning so much. The best stuff ever.
Going into a whole new level.
Yeah.
I think that next week's podcast, you're just going to show up and we're not even going to recognize you.
I mean, I'll put it from the front, and I'll get pretty deep, like he said. But I'll still normally, throw some through the back. But I'm going to try that.
You find you might waste a little less product too, doing that.
Yeah. Look at that, save me money too.
What causes those little white, like from the gel? You ever see that?
Yeah, it depends. It's some of
too
the.
much?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, it depends on the company, what they're putting in it. But for the most part, a lot of those flakes come from the ingredients, and as it hardens on your hair, it can get like that. But I'm not sure what the exact science is behind it, so I'm not going to pretend to know. So I won't bullshit you on that.
It's magic dust.
I was prepared to be bullshitted.
Just make it up. It's fine. He's not going to
No
try.
idea.
So I have a couple of questions. You can take some time to think about them if you want.
Sure.
But here's one. It's something that I try to ask people the first time I talk to them if they do something that I totally know nothing about. And so my first question is, what's something about your industry that nobody knows? Sort of like an industry. I don't want to say an industry secret, but something that's well known that everyone else would sort of be surprised at, or I don't know, anything you could think of. Take a minute.
It's a good question. I have to be careful with what I say.
I'm not secrets out.
Yeah, we're not asking for the secret ingredients or anything like that, but just an interesting fact.
An interesting fact.
While he's thinking, we have Steve and Skanga. We're all taking some pictures of our hair and our beards.
I wanted to get a look for myself. I was looking at my camera. I'm definitely going to have to invest in tubs and tubs of this. I think my hair looks great.
It does.
I think I'm going to grow my hair back just so that I can get in this game, put my hat in the ring.
I mean, good luck. I'm still going to out-hair.
I think you're out-hairing most people. You have pretty solid hair.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone out-hairs me. Pretty much so. And pretty much
Yarbs.
here, Yarbro. I think we're somewhere similar on the same page. I have a pretty wild widow's peak usually.
Jeez, we need to get someone. You need to be a regular on this podcast now, so that we have more than one guy with hair. Steve's got
Crop
the
has
second
hair.
longest hair.
That's pretty
This
bad.
is discrimination.
Our photographer has hair. Crop has hair.
Okay, all right.
This is
Steve has
discrimination.
hair.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. He gets it cut twice a week.
Yeah.
He gets his haircut so
no one
often.
gets their haircut more than him. It's crazy.
That's
It's
a lot.
funny.
I've thought that every
it's
time
true.
I talk to him, I'm like, I'll be up at the barbershop, get my hair cut.
Well, maybe he just likes the camaraderie.
Maybe that's
like
like-
we spoke about earlier.
Yeah, that's what it
That
is.
really could be it.
Maybe it's a code. Maybe maybe it's a code that none of us know
He's
about.
with a prostitute every time. He just doesn't want to tell us.
There's definitely
She cuts
something
hair,
fishy.
too.
You know what we got to do? We're gonna have a group text minus Dave, and anytime he tells one of us he's at the barber shop,
Somebody else will follow.
we're just gonna say oh, he's at the barber shop again, just so that we can keep track of exactly how many times he does go a week.
I can make a website that charts it.
Secretly. We know Dave won't listen this far into the whole podcast, so we can say whatever we want about him right now. We're at what are we at? About an hour in?
Yeah, about that.
Hour and a half in?
No,
Give or take
right about
an hour.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dave definitely won't get into an hour. So what are we gonna say? Let's bash Dave a little bit.
No,
He's
definitely
definitely not-
right through his face.
Yeah, he's definitely not getting any of this product.
No.
We can't have him getting any better looking.
going back to your question before.
Yeah, what do you got? What fact or little niche detail would we not know?
All right, here's something that's always been interesting to me. When you're looking at this market and you're looking at who you're competing with, sometimes specifically Asian countries, China and whatnot. I know people personally that have a good business, thriving business, that they're supplying other stores with product, and they're importing things from China. In addition to having somebody like my dad make products here in the United States and then sell them under his brand. And in a lot of cases, what happens, there are very stringent laws in this country about labeling what's in your product, what goes into it. If I have my ingredients out of order here, I'm in big trouble if somebody catches me.
And they go like the most amount
to least?
Yes, most to least. And what happens a lot of time, I'd say it's kind of a dirty secret in that some people, to save money, might be able to produce something that we're producing for a fraction of the cost, and that's great for your wallet. And it's tempting for a lot of people to want to source things overseas and not have things be as regulated. But you'll find companies where you're asking for a certain type of a hand lotion or a gel for them to make it for you, and they won't let you come see their plant. They won't let you in there. And when they send it to you, they don't really know what the ingredients are in the product. They won't tell you. And so people just kind of make it up on a label and put it out there and just sell it. And it's highly illegal, but nobody's checking. There's not a whole lot of oversight in that industry.
Nobody's checking every product.
Yeah, I was going to say, especially stuff like this where it's not regulated. I don't believe it's regulated by like the FDA or anything like that. Like, I know in food, there's a lot of issues with supplements like that too, because there's so many tainted batches of supplements because they're being manufactured in India and China and stuff like that, and they'll be manufacturing steroids or something like that, and they don't even clean the vats. Like, they just, nope, all right, now we're going to dump this stuff in here, and there's no regulation. The FDA doesn't, because I guess it's because they don't necessarily think that supplements work, or so they don't.
Not designed for whatever.
Right, exactly. So they're able to say certain things on the label without really having to back it up.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's something that in Europe you can't really get away with that. They are so strict with their requirements in a product that, and honestly, it comes based out of almost California. There's California is kind of the leader in what's a bad ingredient and what causes cancer or diseases that they find.
You see the stuff at work?
Everything I use at work
says
illegal. The box says, in the state of California, this is known to cause cancer.
Yeah. Everything.
California causes cancer.
Yeah.
Right here. We're in New York, motherfucker. East Coast.
I'm as far away from that cancer as I can get.
But seriously, every box of insulation I use, every fiberglass, foam glass, whatever I use in my insulation trade, every box says this is known by the state of California to cause cancer. Doesn't say any other state. It doesn't say America. It says known by the state of California.
Wow.
Yeah, they pretty much set the standard, and almost every year they come out with a new ingredient. One of the things that is big right now on their radar and everybody's radar really is parabens. Everybody is against having parabens in hair products. Now, from a manufacturing standpoint, parabens are one of the things that have been proven over time to be fairly safe. So there's kind of a question there, is it really bad or is it not bad? But because California and certain studies have deemed this to be bad, the whole industry was impacted by that, and people do not want parabens in their products. So when you look at a product like the other pomade that you were using, I don't want to open myself up by using a specific name, but the other pomade that you were using, if you look at their ingredients, the last ingredients there are methylparaben and propylparaben. Those ingredients are not allowed in products in California, and you are not allowed to sell to the EU if you have those in there. So one of the things that we did with ours is we eliminated methylparaben and propylparaben out of any sort of a formula that we use. So all of our products are paraben free. And that's big for us. You know, we're set up so that as we expand, if this, you know, the demand reaches across the pond to the EU or to any other country, we're set up so that all we have to do is provide them with our own MSDS, which is the Manufacturer Data Safety. You know, that we can just provide them with that almost instantaneously and be able to enter the market over there without having to revisit our formula.
You're already at the highest possible quality level, so
exactly.
You don't have to think about it.
Yeah, we don't even have to think about it. We don't have to have that come up or be a concern. And it's actually, you know, we found at the expo that we had a few females that were actually very interested in this pomade, female barbers and female hairstylists. And then, you know, as soon as they heard that this was a paraben-free pomade, they were like, "Oh, paraben-free, I'll take two." All right.
Yes,
wow, I can't believe that just eliminating that one ingredient
Wow.
can get you a sale. But it's true, you know, people are very health conscious these days. I think 5-10 years ago they weren't so much, but people are very health conscious these days, and they want to know that what they're putting in and on their body is going to, in the long run, be beneficial and not do the opposite of what they're going for.
Well, I'm sure everybody probably remembers. I know this happened a couple years ago. It's probably happened several times since then, but not to like as terrible a degree. But they had one of the dog food companies that was manufacturing in China had, I guess, a factory that was using something called melamine, which is, I guess, is poisonous in batches of. They were producing something, and that was an ingredient of it. And then I guess later on went on to produce this dog food, and then a lot of people's dogs died here by eating the dog food that was produced in like one of those Chinese factories, with is obviously probably like very little to no regulation, and they're just probably trying to crank things out as cheaply as possible. And I mean, I couldn't imagine like putting stuff on my face every day, like day after day, week after week, year after year, and not even knowing like it's bad for you. Mm-hmm. But I guess with a lot of those things from other countries, you really don't know when it comes down to it.
Yeah, it certainly depends on the regulations that country of origin, you know, sets out for manufacturers, for sure. And at least in the United States, we have a little bit more oversight. You know, obviously, like we were saying before, it's not FDA regulated. You know, in order to be FDA regulated, it has to be either a fully organic product or it has to be something that
edible or like something that you consume, a consumable. Something
that is used for medication. So, like a topical cream, like something like Mupuricin or something in those lines, would be something that, sure, I could make it in my factory, but if I started putting a label on it and selling on it, the FDA is going to knock on my door and say, "Hey, you're not an FDA facility, what are you doing?" And all of a sudden I'm in jail, and that's not good. So, you know, obviously, you know, it's a little bit different when you enter those markets and you're supplying medical companies. But yeah, it's so certain products can be considered a drug, and there's a fine line to walk with that. You know, there was some articles recently. There was an Amish gentleman that was selling some sort of a product, and he came up online as being arrested and charged with a certain amount of years and huge fines for him. And I felt bad for the guy because he really was just trying to make a product and sell it to local friends and family. They came down really hard on him with the hammer because on his product he said that it helps cure cancer. So making a claim like that when it's, you know,
that's pretty legit. I mean, if you're going to make a claim, that's like
a good claim.
I mean, cures AIDS. That might be like the only the bolder statement of. I mean, if you had to come up with one.
I mean, if I put that on my product right now, like 30,000 people would try to message me and figure out what the hell's going on, and I'd probably wind up in jail. It's
a good flow cures cancer.
Yeah, good hair, good pomade.
Look good while defeating cancer.
But yeah, it's definitely a fine line to walk with that, as far as you know, what you're claiming on your labels and what you're putting into your product versus what the country does regulate, because there are some very strict regulations when it comes to organic and when it comes to you know, FDA regulated things that fall in that category.
I was just kind of off subject, but similar to like when you were talking about like stuff on labels. I was just having this conversation with a couple of guys that work for me about like how ridiculous and like litigious our society is, and somehow we got into the conversation of the class action lawsuit that was brought up against Red Bull because people didn't grow wings. Like it was a legit thing. It was like if you bought Red Bull between like 2001 like 2007 or something like that, you could sign up and they would give you like $6 or something fucking ridiculous like
bro.
that.
And I bought a Red Bull with it.
I was just it just got me so angry. If that was me and I was sitting in the courtroom and like somebody brought that lawsuit in front of me, I'd be like, are you guys fucking kidding? Like, get out of my courtroom right now. Like, you're a moron. Like, I hope you didn't think you had wings and tried to fucking jump off a building, because we need to get rid of you.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just a product of people declining in intelligence, or if it's actually people just looking to game the system. But I mean, for Christ's sake, that's just a not rational thought in my mind. Like, if I drink a drink, I'm going to sprout wings. I don't, it's just not a logical thought.
Well, they can though.
And I feel like in
the
legal
drink
speak,
gives you wings.
they use the term like, you know, a reasonable person would consider. And I think any reasonable person would not consider a drink something that's going to give you wings.
Make you grow wings, yeah.
So I think it's a little frivolous, you know.
It all really started. It started like the like that woman with McDonald's that spilled the hot coffee in her lap. It's like, yeah, it's hot coffee. You just got it. Like, don't put it in your lap. Like, you burnt yourself because you put hot coffee in your lap.
I read an article online about that actual lawsuit, and it was
frivolous.
No,
not frivolous. It was actually it was real. It was legitimate.
real. It was legitimate because there was shit. I forget all the details.
There was also like they were saying with the top and things like I do get that, but at the same time,
no, the coffee was like 300 degrees. It was like insanely hot.
Coffee is like,
and she didn't spill it. It melted through the styrofoam cup, and she had to have surgery. Multiple surgeries.
They had to do like skin grafts in like her, crotch and stuff.
Through the cup though.
Yeah, through the cup. It melted through the plastic. That was like the topic.
And like McDonald's had like previous claims of people saying their coffee's way hotter than it needs to be.
The coffee machine was broken in that McDonald's and was like heating it up to 300 degrees.
Like McDonald's wants you to think it was a frivolous lawsuit.
Yeah, McDonald's actually paid for a giant smear campaign against them.
Even so, the whole thought process,
bro.
I like those French fries, man. I haven't had them in years, but they put a smile on my face when I think about them. They used to be delicious. I don't know about now. I heard they banned the trans fats, or what were those things?
Not yet. Not yet. Well, I mean, the ban is, but they're still allowed to kill you for like another 3 years if you had it.
Yeah, they have enough storage to kill you for the next
Basically,
couple years.
If you already had trans fats in your product, you got like a 3-year grandfathered in grace period to get them out. So they're allowed to kill you for 3 more years before.
That's like asbestos products, because I do insulation. Used to be all asbestos. And when they put the ban on asbestos, it was like if you have a warehouse full of asbestos products, you have so much time to use it. Like you have 18 months.
This is killing you.
You got 18 months to use this. We know you're gonna die, but in the next 18 months, use up your product. It's crazy.
It really is like.
It's a crazy world we live in. Yeah. It is a crazy world we live in. Good thing there's good hair product.
It's true.
I just got a picture up on the Instagram of Mike working that new pomade.
Ooh, nice.
I'm not gonna lie, it looks like you're doing a line of coke off the table though.
You know what? Either that or he's holding his hair from getting in his mouth when he's leaning.
Is that when you were taking a picture of the product and I tried to put my hair in it?
Yeah. Something's going on.
Oh, and I do not do nose beers on the air.
Nose beers.
Nose beers.
You've had a couple good quotes tonight. The Slump Buster.
Slump Buster, nose beers, and
I'm sorry, but
the womb room was so
womb
good.
room still wins. Yes,
the womb room one. That was
credit for it. That was somebody else, but it was
very good.
Too fucking funny.
So I have a couple more questions like that too. So, all right, we got your first one. I have another question for you.
Sure.
What do you think is going to be the most challenging thing for you guys, like moving forward, as far as like rolling your brand out and getting it out there into the stores?
Having people know who we are. I think that it's really important for us. Our plan is kind of to get involved in our local community and start with, obviously we have the barber shop, but there's a few other stores in town that we think we'd be a great fit in, and our plan is to knock on those doors and be persistent and stick with knowing that we have a great product and believing in it and sharing what we like about it with everybody else until they can't help but want to see why we like it so much. And it's going to be a lot of walking into stores and just seeing if they'd like to take our products on consignment, or if they'd like to carry one product or whatever it is. We're happy to have anybody who's interested carry these products and enjoy them and have their customers enjoy them like we do.
I could see this if you have this in the barbershop and I was getting my hair cut or I was getting like a shave and they use the products on my face, I would definitely ask them what they were, especially like everybody like mentioned earlier, like they look really sharp. We're going to put some more pictures up and they do look sharp. This is like the type of thing that it's not like that plastic tub with the giant glue with the hairs all stuck over it. Like everything is very streamlined and looks like professional, almost like you'd see it on like a shelf in like an aircraft, or like on the space station. Like this is the stuff the astronauts shave.
Yeah, this is the stuff that you put like on the front counter in a nice display. Like
exactly,
it catches your eye. It's not over the top, but it's clean. It looks great. You guys did an excellent job. Really.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, I see. Like if this was on like the barber's counter, I would probably definitely be like, oh, how much is that stuff? Yeah, I'm gonna pick up the 3-pack, just from like the standpoint of like everybody said when they put it on. You didn't put it on your face.
Oh no, yeah, I did.
Oh, did you? Did you? All right, so you know,
good.
it just smells so delicious. It's almost like I'm trying to think of a way to describe it.
Look.
You look real healthy. You got a good
nice
glow.
glow.
Good glow.
Yeah.
You do have a
It
glow.
feels real nice, ladies.
Ladies.
You're gonna have to smell Skanga's face tonight, Miss X. So we're at about an hour and a half in. So do you have anyone that you want to plug? Do you want to plug your website again, or where can they find your product? I know you're selling it on the website.
Yeah, absolutely. Our website is oasisgroomingcompany.com. We have all of our products there for sale. We also have them right now in Monty's Barber Shop in Mastic, in Mauritius, I'm sorry. And anybody can walk in and purchase a product from him or any of the other barbers there. And honestly, I'm happy to go meet people who want to buy our product. I like to know who our customers are and get to know them. So, I'm not opposed to if somebody gives me a call or gets in touch with me via the website and they're locally around here. I'll go meet them personally and shake their hand and make a sale with them and make sure that they're happy with what we have.
Do you guys have Instagram or Facebook or anything?
Absolutely. It's the same name on Facebook and Instagram. It's Oasis Grooming Co. And we always use our hashtag Find Your Oasis because that's kind of our
I like that.
Our concept with this. We look at this as our opportunity maybe one day to travel the world. And I always put a big amount of importance on travel and exploring and finding new places and people. So, for us, I'd love to see pictures of this all around the world with people that have found, quote-unquote, their oasis using these products, maybe bringing it on the beach in the Bahamas or something like that, and just sends me a picture. Hey, man, I'm loving this pomade. Like, this vacation's awesome, or whatever it is. That's really something that we value, is being able to get out and explore and have our products be somewhere else. I've thought about, I don't know if you guys have heard anything or discussed anything about people that do like van dwelling and like converting a Sprinter into their own house and kind of just roughing it and going from city to city and making things work. And maybe one day I'll put a wrap on a Sprinter van with our logo on it, and I'll go from city to city, just meeting people and exploring the world, and
like a traveling salesman.
Exactly.
There's something a little romantic about that.
I took a trip. I took a trip across country with a good buddy of mine, maybe 2 years ago, and ever since I came back, I felt like, specifically Long Island, it's such a wonderful place, but it is small. There's a lot more out there. And this place will always be my home, and it's never leaving. I can always come back here, unless there's a tidal wave, but I can always come back here and be here and know almost every inch of this place. But there's so much more out there that I want to see, like mountains in Canada, Colorado, California, San Diego. There's so many places out there that are just different, and everybody has something to offer, and you don't really know where your true home or where you really belong is unless you go out and you find those things. So for us it's kind of a way that we can possibly get to see the world while doing something we love, and having people love our products and be able to meet really cool people along the way that share the experience with us, and that's what's going to make it what it is for us.
Not bad. Well, thank you for coming on. It's actually, like we mentioned earlier, our 50th episode, so it was awesome having you here to celebrate our 50th episode and the opening of our new studio. And you're going to have to come back on and fill